Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of To Be Quite Honest. My name is Ore, my co-host is
Norma,
and today with us we have two very special guests.
way too special.
We'll let them introduce themselves. Lady in black, go first.
Hi, my name is Andrea Cameron-cole.
Okay.
Will that do?
No. What you do? Tell us what you do.
Tell us what you do, where you work.
What you do?
All right, my name is Andrea Cameron-cole. I'm a real estate consultant.
Okay.
I've been in the business for about 12 years now.
Okay, veteran. Over a decade.
You can see that.
Nice.
You can see that. And I work with Mixta Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you do at Mixta?
I work as a salesperson. I'm the head of sales and business development for the organization.
So you're boss lady.
Big boss.
As you can see.
The biggest.
I wish.
Don't be shy. All right, the guy in white, tell
and
us.
then
Yeah, my name is DaSilva. Superstar businessman.
He
himself.
said whiskey shift.
the stamp is there.
He said whiskey shift because I'm here. But continue. As far Ayo, please.
So I do private equity,
Okay.
and real estate is one of my investments.
Okay.
Of course, from my grandfather, we've had DaSilva Estate. So in the family, we've always had real estate. So I'm basically in this generation one of the only people that manages and invests in real estate.
Wow.
Okay, so you're like third generation wealth regarding real estate. Yeah.
Yes, sort of.
Sort of, or yes.
Oh, that
He doesn't want to toot his horn.
That's fine. You know, I want to tell you something. Our listeners don't beg for money. So don't think that the thing will come up and people will say, Leo, please help us. Don't think our family has money.
In the comments.
Yeah, that's what let me tell you.
We're trying.
We're professional.
Trying.
Don't
We're
know,
trying.
you can speak freely.
My grandfather, yes, he was a big boy.
Okay.
Well, we're just trying.
But you call yourself a big boy. I mean, you started with
You started with
superstars.
I said
Superstars.
superstars, in like everybody knows me. So I'm not on screen because
He's
I'm
trying.
an
He's
actor.
trying to
He's
be
not trying
modest.
to be. He doesn't want them to be him, but okay, no problem. All right, great. Thank you guys, both of you, so much for coming on today.
Yeah.
Today we want to just talk about where it's hot to invest in real estate, and just don't like before you give us answers, we'll ask you a couple of questions. But before we get into it, I don't want you to limit yourself to like Nigeria, because now it's a global village. A lot of
Yeah.
people, there's access to capital mobility across the globe, and a lot of people are beginning to wonder, okay, if I want to expand my horizon regarding investments and I just don't want to do locally, where can I go? Where should I go? What should I look out for?
Yeah, what's the
what kind
best
of due
place?
diligence should I consider doing?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So you're in private equity, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming that not only does your portfolio consist of real estate locally, you also might have fingers in pies outside of the country. So what do you think?
Okay, so I recently just started this because I don't like to do investment that I don't like to give my clients investment that I've never done before. So we
Okay.
recently just started investing in real estate in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
like Cardiff area and whatnot. So what we're doing is buy to let. So you buy a property and you're letting it out. But take for example, you buy a 2-bedroom and whatnot, it's giving you about £3,000 per month.
Okay.
And 1,500 will go to servicing the interest on the let.
Okay.
Then the remainder is for you.
Okay. So when you say the interest, you mean like if you took a mortgage to buy it?
Yes, you take a mortgage to buy it, but the thing is, you're not paying back the mortgage. You're paying back just the interest on the mortgage. So, yes, don't worry.
I was going to say, so when do we start?
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
you don't need to pay. You don't pay this is buy to let. You don't pay the mortgage. So
Okay.
what you do is you wait for the property to appreciate. It can appreciate in like 3-4 years. But because you've been paying the interest on it for those 3-4 years, you would still sell it. You sell it at a profit, but you'd pay the mortgage bank
Elements.
the amount that you bought
Bought
it
it
for at that time. So for example, now we just did a property of like 280k pounds.
I was going to
So-
say,
I'll go
be
pay
glad that it's pounds, but listeners are euros.
We just did one for like 280k pounds. So
Okay.
when we start paying the interest, then in 5 years that property will definitely appreciate to like, let's say 360
Okay.
and whatnot. Then we pay 280k back to the
Of
bank,
that 360.
but the change is ours.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, so it's basically the best sort of investment for like low level, because you pay the down payment is about 30%, which is not bad.
Are you good in math?
Yes, I am.
Someone in studio good. What's 30% of
200,
280?
yeah, 280.
Yeah, so that's about
10 is 28.
that's about
$40. That's
60
£60,000.
60.
So when you say like
yeah.
early entrance, where are you gonna find £60,000?
Okay, so I'm talking about a property of 280K.
80, okay.
So you can get
There's
a
a
property
range.
of
Depends
like
on the amount.
you can
Okay.
get a property of like 100K, 150K. It
All
depends
right.
on the area, but
Location.
yeah, it depends on the area in the UK. But I'm more focused on like
Student areas.
student. In
Just-
fact, everywhere has students.
Yeah.
Fair.
Almost every county, almost every county has a university.
University, okay.
So you just have to make sure that wherever you're investing in
close.
has, it's, the proximity to town is there, because there are some towns that are a bit wide. Like Manchester now, if you're investing in somewhere like Manchester, you don't want to invest in some certain areas. You need to invest in like commuters town.
Okay.
You get
closer.
places that are closer to
So
the
where the
uni.
action is, okay,
Yes.
that makes sense. All right. So what is the process? Now you've said this. Are you saying like your private equity business just takes money off of people and does all of this?
We set up SPVs.
Oh, okay.
So we set up SPVs. We do. They can do their due diligence if they want, but most times nobody really bothers to do due diligence.
Why? Because
What's
you
the-
guys are trusted.
Because they know I'm not going to run with their money.
Okay, but I was going to ask what's the risk. I was going to ask what before you even because this Lagos is the more you look, the less you see.
Yeah,
So
like,
it's just
but
like
he's
I'm
like,
not going to run
I
with the
mean,
money. What are the risks what are the
Involved.
risks involved in this sort of investment?
The risk might just be, this is UK, so even if the property does not appreciate, you can always still sell it and get back your money.
Okay, so you more or less just break even.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of documentation would someone that wants to invest in real estate in the UK have to
So
have?
documentation, not really. So that's what the SPV is for.
Okay.
The SPV will just allow the fact that your name would be on the property. You don't really have any sort of trail in the UK. We are the ones that have that. So
Okay, so what you're saying is basically all the registration, all like the tax remittances, all
Yeah.
of those things. The SPV is going to be like all of that. How much does that cost on average? That service?
as
Is it
in
like
what
profit
service?
sharing, as in the service of me getting into business with you and you setting up the SPV?
We're
for
going
this?
to get the profit sharing. We're going to divide the profit sharing.
Oh,
with
we're,
the SPV. Yeah.
we're dividing it. Even if I bring 60K, we divide it.
Why not?
Uh-uh.
We're not dividing it equally, but like
Okay.
my service, you have to pay for it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to find
Yes.
out. Like, how much is the service?
So it depends. It depends on the property.
Oh,
so it
okay.
depends on. I have to first calculate how much the maintenance would be, because this is
Yes.
the UK. This is not Nigeria, where
Yeah.
if window breaks, you don't
Just-
fix it.
Fair.
Yes, now landlords do that. So this
We
one,
don't do that. We don't do that at Mixta though. I need to point out
some landlords do that.
some
Where the
Something
the
spoils,
septic tank will be
yeah.
filled up. They will not.
they'll be looking
tell
at you.
all of
Is-
you have to do this, but what we do is I'll calculate all of that and see how much like the agency will collect from maintaining the property monthly.
Okay.
Then, convenience fee, all of those.
So there's no percentage.
So there's no, he will decide. It's very arbitrary. He's saying that he will look at the amount you made and take the one he wants to take. So really, I mean, like he will give you the rest. Yeah, so if you want to invest with him,
It's not.
you just get ready to fight. That's what he said. Because anyone doesn't tell you how much they want to charge you in the beginning. When people get there, you start tussling. Well, I mean, I'm sure obviously it's profitable venture.
Yeah, it's secure venture.
Okay.
So I would not I don't do it for people because they want to become rich.
Yeah.
I do it for people because they have plans of maybe moving to the UK at some point.
And they're trying to grow capital. Or...
Yeah, and or people that just want to have steady inflow of forex.
Okay.
So you can be a businessman in Nigeria at the moment, and you can hit maybe 25M in a contract, but it might not be consistent. You can
Sure.
hit 25M maybe once in 2 years and
Yeah.
whatnot. But if you want something that will be hitting your account every
Every
month,
month,
coming
okay.
in pounds, coming in dollars, that is something that they do. They know that this money maybe is we're saving it for this
For
junior
the
school fees.
Okay, that makes sense.
So those are the people that we do it for. We don't do it for just people that say, "Oh, I want to hammer in the next 5 months."
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you want to hammer in the next 5 months, we do all that one.
It's okay. It's giving blood money energy, but okay. So Andrea is the head of sales and business development for Mixta Africa, and I know that Mixta has businesses in about 7 or 8 African countries. So if anyone will know about like investing across the globe or continents, I feel like you'd be a really good person you would seem to
I mean,
have like
considering the fact that you've been here over a decade.
over a decade. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like your skills and your accumulated knowledge will give us prime. You'll be able to give us really great advice. What do you think? If anyone wants to invest like outside,
I can hear you hyping me like.
you know the funny thing. If you ask them, I'm very wicked. Ask my guests. They don't even like me because I always say the truth. But I'm now telling you, if you think I'm watching you, this is why it's not good to say the truth. But it's okay. It's all right.
Well, I mean, to start with, when we started this discussion, I was thinking that what's the word now? The focus would be on Nigeria, Lagos, or
Tell us
something.
too.
And but I'm just thinking in terms of what's it called? In terms of investing into real estate, what we've noticed recently is that a lot of people still consider real estate as one of the first kind of investment to take advantage of, right? And then we find people buying into Lagos, buying into properties within Lagos, as much as some people think that Lagos may not be the ideal place for you to buy into. But, there's a demand for that kind of investment in Lagos. And what we've also noticed over time is that people now sort of consider places like Canada, United Kingdom, like you just said. And people now also, the US factor, the US interest has always been there, but people are now beginning to consider places that are developing because you now have so many people moving into, that location much more than they were moving 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So you have Canada, in Africa, you have Lagos, you have Abuja, you still have people who invest in, of course, Port Harcourt. You have people who invest in Port Harcourt, but if we
Nigeria
talk about Nigeria, Nigeria is a
very
very good market for real estate.
Is
in
this
Africa.
based on like returns or just based on the fact that there's appreciation across board, like year on year?
I would say based on one, returns. Secondly, based on appreciation. No, I think appreciation first then return. Because the thing is that you put your money into real estate today, depending on the location that you put that money, I mean, you buy that property, you find that the rate at which that the value of that property appreciates is surprising. So let's say you buy a property for 5 million naira today. I'm just using that as an instance.
I'm going to say, show me.
Let's say, let's be
buy
a
landed
bit
property
for 5 million.
It also depends on the location. So let's be realistic. So let's say you buy a property in Surulere or Lekki here for 60 million naira. And I'm not talking Lekki phase 1. The other,
further down
part of Lekki. You buy a property there for 60 million naira. You leave it for, you either decide to develop or not develop. You leave it for another 6 months. You'll be amazed at what you get on it. I'm sure you know this.
Yes.
6 months. You leave your property for a year. You leave your property for 2 years. It's even becoming
6 months is
very fast. 6 months is
it's less than the gestation period for a baby. So I'm just like,
you will be amazed at
6
the kind
months.
of
you
would actually be amazed.
She's actually on the money.
In terms of but that's the monetary appreciation. That's what people look at. The capital appreciation. That's what people look out for.
So if I come back in 6
investing.
months, if I like now 60 million today, I'm saying if I come back, it's very
chances are that you
July,
sell that place.
January next year.
Chances are that you sell that real estate investment for maybe no, it may not be that the
high.
jump may not
Maybe
be
like
that high. Maybe like 5 million. It can be 10 million. It depends. Yes,
even 3 months sometimes. I like the fact that she mentioned Surulere because we were actually we were actively searching for a property from September, and I can tell you that there was one property in Bajumo in Surulere that
September last year.
Yeah, September last year that they quoted a price, and by February, when we were ready to buy,
yesterday's price is not today's price. That's what they served you.
Price went up.
So by February, when we were ready to buy, they had offers of like 20% more than what we offered, than what they told us to offer in September.
So everything's scattered.
Yeah, everything, but at the end we went to Alaka.
Okay.
And you got for a good price.
Very good price.
Nice.
So it's how the market is.
But Alaka is better.
Yeah, Alaka is the good part of Surulere.
Everywhere is a good part
everywhere
of
is
Surulere
good.
is safe, I guess.
It's-
It's okay.
Surulere
It's so. I
is
mean,
just-
Surulere was what is called the. Was it not? Is this Surulere? It's called the new.
It was New
London
Lagos.
Yeah.
or New Lagos then.
Well, but Surulere is still very safe.
Yes, I think Surulere.
You know,
is
I
one
feel
of
like
the-
Lekki Amrobas are learning what from Surulere.
Oh
Amrobas.
God! Alright.
What's
You
Amrobas?
can't leave your bag. You can't leave your wallet.
What are you talking about? Can you
I
leave your bag
I
in
don't
tell
Lekki?
you.
Where
Wait,
is-
wait,
where is
wait,
Surulere?
Where
wait.
in
Everywhere.
Lagos?
Let me tell you.
No, but already
Oh,
no.
God.
Sincerely, where in Surulere?
Oh,
Me, I
God.
want to know where in Surulere because
Everywhere in
I'm the
Surulere.
Duke of Surulere. So
Yeah,
I
the
need
Duke.
Yeah.
Only you, Superstar. Only you, Duke.
Please,
We called you Big Boy.
By
You
the
said
time, by
no.
the time Leo lives here, he
So
has like 4
I need
titles.
to,
Look,
I need to know where is Surulere.
You know, what's so funny is, you know, on Bode Thomas, all those streets that turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time, I have like 3 friends that live in Surulere. So growing up, I used to go and do my hair, I used to do my nails on that road as well. Every time, they beg me, please don't park on the road, come into the compound, block everybody's house.
But it's even in
Because
Lekki that if you park on the road like
Lekki, no,
overnight,
Lekki-
you
this
can't find your
guess
thing.
what,
I
you
think
don't even
Surulere
These
sleep.
things happen everywhere.
everywhere.
But I
But like
think-
I don't
but
think
I didn't even
the
think,
rate
like,
in
it was-
Surulere
I don't
is
think-
that bad.
Yeah.
I
So
sincerely
maybe
don't
the
think it's
question
that
is,
bad.
where do your friends live?
I've told you about Bode Thomas, and don't even try that leg. Don't even bring that leg here.
When
Don't
was
even bring
this?
that- This was maybe 3 years ago. Everybody has relocated now, but those that, I mean, all of them have left the country
3
now.
years ago is a very long time.
In security landscape or just
Yes.
generally. But anyways, it was very rampant at the time. And so I'm like, is it?
It's still everywhere.
I mean, I know there's a heightened sense of insecurity.
Yeah.
There's a
3 years
heightened,
ago,
like,
dollar was like 368 or something.
I don't
Yeah.
want to go into that.
Let's
Let's just try and focus, okay? We're not here to count our woes. We're here to move positively forward. But yeah, I mean, so those people that are definitely looking to invest. So if you don't want to like go the UK route, if you feel like, oh, I still want to appreciate the capital I do have, and I don't want to go through the stress of, because here's the thing now, like if I have Naira, right? If I have like 60 million, are you saying categorically that it might make more sense for me to actually buy an asset here because it will appreciate fast as opposed to going to change it to pounds today? And or do you think that people have different needs? Like he's mentioned that if you want sort of like steady income, like maybe month in, month out, you can go that route. But if you want like just
Quick
maybe
money.
Lump
not
sum.
quick money here, but lump sum like appreciation, I can consider, because I feel like trying to sell the house also takes time.
But all right, we all can afford to buy
A house
houses abroad.
This is true.
So you have to look at what you can afford and try to make the best out of the opportunity that is available to
Okay.
you. You find a lot of, so let me just go this route a little bit. You find a lot of young people saying, I can't imagine buying a house in on Lekki Epe Expressway. So let's say anywhere after Aja. So, but if you tell this young person to pay for a house around Chevron, he or she cannot even afford it. So you have to start from what you can do. Yeah, you know, otherwise you just find out that you
won't
keep
do anything.
aspiring to buy a house in,
And you never
and
do.
you end up not buying it.
Okay, so if there's a young person who saved, let's just say sizable amount, maybe 10, 20 billion in the last 5 years, and they're thinking of going into real estate investing, what would you suggest?
So it depends. So Lagos, there are some hot spots. Well, not too hot, sha,
Lukewarm.
I had to say that.
but
Lukewarm.
they will become hot.
Eh.
Yes, they will.
That's the whole idea.
They will, because obviously they're building like another road. They started that road now.
Which one?
Where?
I've forgotten the name of the road that this government is building. I don't want to, but there is another road that is going to connect.
Are you referring to the
The one they've stopped on the
the
road.
Costa Road?
Yes, the Costa
Costa
Road.
Road.
Oh, really? They're really doing that. I've been
Yeah,
hearing
yeah,
about it
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
years.
No, they've actually started.
It's there. It's just not so
Motorable.
much. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you don't have a Jeep, you shouldn't buy in that area or what?
Yeah, but they've started. So you need to start thinking about those kind of places. Then there is Ikorodu as well. Ikorodu now they're building another link road out of it. I'm serious.
It's so far.
That's the thing.
It's
So that's the thing.
It's so far, but there's a link road
It will always be
coming.
far, Abi.
Wait,
No.
there's a link road coming out of like what's the name of this area?
Inside the corridor.
Tapa. There's Tapa leading from Tapa straight to the express, the Ikorodu Road Express.
Are you asking me? This is Duco. Don't be asking.
Yes, coming from Tapa to the Ikorodu Express.
Okay.
So it's making Ikorodu a bit
Open.
closer. You get. So if you have,
How close can Ikorodu be?
I mean, I know from
Actually,
like
it's
Ado
actually
Road, you
close
can take a
because
boat
I drove.
from
I
like,
drove from Tapa because I just sold off my properties there. So I drove from that.
You
road.
sold off, like, so you don't have any property in Ikorodu.
Not anymore.
But you're advising us to go to.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
He says, don't forget, the person is telling someone that does that. He's been doing it for a while, so I'm guessing
the
his
thing
needs
is,
are different.
when it comes to real estate, I'm very realistic.
Yeah.
Because apart from ones that I own personally, there's also inheritance. So
okay.
I have to try to balance it. You cannot own everything.
That's true.
You know, so you need to know, okay, where can I quickly reach? Where can't I quickly reach?
Okay.
And, you know, because of how meticulous I am, I know that for me to be doing my visits there, it would be a bit...
Another title. This is like the third one he's giving himself.
What
He has done
title?
superstar, he has done Duke.
But
He's now
that's not a
meticulous.
title. I'm just
Okay.
It's
It's
straight
straight.
now.
just telling you that...
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
so there's that side. Then of course, after like the Aja areas, there are landed properties that you can probably just gate till you have money later on to build small by small.
Okay.
You know, then there's Abuja as well. People don't really look at Abuja, but I've looked at Abuja fondly this year.
Why?
Especially because I'm not doing any real estate project at the moment.
Okay.
This year I decided not to do any real estate project. So I've been more into my private equity. So that means my eyes have been prime areas where people can invest.
Okay.
And I'm looking at people investing 10M, buying 1-bedroom flats, you know, small estates in like Life Camp, all those kind of areas, you know, that appreciate over time. You can short let it, you know, those kind of things. So
Okay.
that's what I'll advise people. for
Andrea,
now.
what would you advise?
I think I sort of agree with him.
Okay.
I tell people that buying you can actually buy into real estate in any area.
Yeah.
There's no limit. You know, the moment you keep telling yourself that I'll need to save up to 50 million naira to be able to buy in this area because that's the in area, you end up not buying anything. So as a young person, if you're looking for a realistic, if you're trying to be realistic in terms of your investment, you just don't want to keep your money, or you don't want to end up buying all sort of things, you can consider places like Lekki Epe Expressway.
That seems to be like everybody. That's like everyone.
Yeah, that's the thing. When a place is growing, you should be able to identify the opportunity there and take advantage of
Before
it.
I want to ask you for something.
Yeah.
They've done the Lagos Ibadan road.
Yeah.
And there's a train that applies that route.
Yes, no.
So why?
Wait, hold on. The thing is that Lekki Epe Expressway is one of the fastest growing
development. This is
axes
true.
in West Africa.
Yeah.
Right? So you have that area. If you find an opportunity there, take advantage of it.
Yeah.
If you find a place around the Lagos
More
Ibadan
access.
Expressway, if you've done your due diligence and you feel that the place is good, please go ahead and buy into it. But I don't know if you would agree with me, but what I've noticed over time is that the kind of appreciation you get
On this axis.
on Lekki
Lekki
Epe
Epe.
Expressway is different from what you get in
You say that
Ikorodu.
it's different.
It's
Of course, it's
higher.
right now.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
it will be different because
It's higher. So
like
if
when
you
you look
find
at
the
certain
opportunity,
things,
key
you look-
into it.
yeah.
Numbers are very important.
And then I also is like an advice as a young person, don't just follow the trend, but just know what you're doing whilst you're at it. But if you cannot afford to do even that fastest growing area and you find an opportunity in Ikorodu, take advantage of it.
Okay, basically, bed in hand.
Yes, just
Okay.
take after a while that investment appreciates. Take your money, take it elsewhere, and go and and
no, but if you're saying that they should wait for the investment to appreciate, the other ones too are growing. So it's
But
like
the level is not from zero again. So
Yeah,
there's a
that's
5 million
true.
that will buy you something
Do you
you could
understand?
do, not
So-
anything
That's
for you.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it comes 15, at least you can start from somewhere on the other side. That's
you don't
also
even
very
have to look for a
interesting.
house to buy. Just buy a plot.
It can be plot.
Can be a plot.
True.
You don't. There are several kind of investments. Real estate is just so big, So there
What
are several
about in
things you can do.
Africa? What would you advise?
I think I've noticed. I don't know if you've also noticed this. I think a lot of Nigerians are now investing in places like Kigali.
Okay.
I've
Yeah,
noticed that
I know
trend.
South Africa.
Yes, and then you also have Morocco, and that's because clients have been asking us constantly, do you have a place in Morocco? Do you have in Cote d'Ivoire?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ivory Coast. So those are also
because
places
I would
outside
assume
of...
like Nigerians are, because Morocco is like francophone.
yeah, like
But
if you
people
don't
do.
speak
Yeah,
the
if you don't
language,
speak
why
the
would you want
language,
to
why
live
would
there?
you want?
No, but people still buy.
For real estate.
Exactly.
For real
like,
estate,
Yeah.
the language is not a barrier. I guess,
yeah,
People
true.
buy.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because
people-
I know Nigerians are even buying in Spain.
Nice.
Is that for relocation purposes or
Not for relocation,
Maybe
just
for
for
yourself.
just
As long
for
as you can afford it, and they want to earn in
just for
foreign
yes
currencies.
for letting out.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
interesting.
But another thing I want to tell people is when it comes to Lekki access, no matter how far, invest. The reason why I'll say that
Even
is-
Ekpe.
yes, even Ekpe, trust me, like just so far you know the people that are buying from
Like
and
the
whatnot.
brand is trusted.
Yes, you trusted. They're trusted. Just invest. The reason why I say that is because I remember my dad talking about this story when he got the house in Ikoyi, and he kept on saying that people were abusing him, that his property goes on the express road. Do you understand? So our house is in Dolphin. So people were like, that's like old Secretariat Road. They were like, their house is very close to the main road, that kind of thing. And now all those people that were abusing him, I don't think their
Any of
properties,
them are Nikoyi.
That's
what he's saying now, but it's okay.
So I'm just saying that side has always been the future, and it just depends on if you're listening to what people are saying right now, then you might miss it. Because all it takes for that area is one sensible person.
To just put their foot down
To
and
do
say, "I'm doing
infrastructure.
it."
Trust
Yeah.
me, just
Solid
one sensible person to just do it.
Okay.
I don't even want to.
Don't call
I don't want to
anybody.
shade anybody.
Don't.
But
You have done
just
it.
one sensible person to just put that stuff in place, and
And then
that place is
just
going to be like
opens
this.
up,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
because there are already a lot of things there.
All right. So we've spoken a lot about like real estate for but what about people who want to leave? Like, so, now there's a movement of people going off the grid, right? So that people that are like, sort of like, I'm tired of this city life. I want something a bit more to myself, maybe me, my husband, my pets, me, my husband, my children. I will homeschool them, all these funny things. Have you seen like a demand for that sort of thing?
Yeah.
What would you advise someone who's invested in trying to do that? Someone who's interested?
So I've advised people to do a career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you expecting to hear? Like
I
out
don't
of
know.
the country or what?
But not Ondo.
I'm saying like I've advised people to do a career.
Has it worked that well?
But
for
do they
them?
listen? When you
Do they?
tell them
How's
to
I'm
listen?
going to? Are they listening?
So it's because they wanted a place that was outside Lagos, retirement homes.
Oh, okay.
So you have varying clients. There's some clients that they've lived the city life and they are tired of it. They just want to retire to one farm and one nice location. Their grandkids can come, live with them, have some nice schools there. So there are boarding areas. There's Ibadan, there's Akure, there's Abuja, so...
There are not a lot of retirement homes, but funny enough, at Mixta, we just recently launched our retirement home.
Okay.
It's called Ule, where we have like all the basic necessities that you would need for an old person.
Okay.
So just in case you still have clients that are coming to you,
Not interested.
you can
He
send
says
it our way.
They're
and to be
not
fair,
that type of
Lackway is
retirement.
now outside Lagos.
When he said
What do you mean?
They don't
When you
like
say
peace.
that's
Or
about
No, I'm
retirement?
saying they
don't like happiness or
so
what?
They just want to be
they
away.
want they just want to be away from the Lagos.
Yeah,
hustle
but like
and bustle.
it's Lakwe is like
That's like the key selling point.
Yeah.
It is a way.
it's just
away from the hustle. Have you stayed in Lakwe?
It is away, but you still
No, but have
enter
you
the
stayed
express.
in Lakwe?
I have come to Lakwe.
Like
Have you
visited?
Yes, I've not stayed.
You should
You
should
stay.
try.
See,
Don't
that's
know.
how
See, I know,
Come, it's
I
not
know,
bad. You know,
And I really
I
need to
know
get
how
him to
serene-
come for
For
Escape to the
We have an
Grave.
event.
No.
We actually need to invite you
No,
to
see,
come and
Actually,
experience it.
I know how Lakwe is.
Oh, you should stay.
If you haven't slept, you can't really know.
I'm telling
I'm
you.
sorry.
No, Leo,
Where this
seriously.
city and also sleep
No,
over.
seriously.
You
It's
should
not about
honestly, like,
visiting.
I think you should.
You
give
should
them a
actually
ticket to
sleep.
sleep over.
I'm telling you. We'll
We
come
can
with
honestly
you.
let's
Okay,
actually.
okay.
We'll
So-
Come and
we'll
sleep.
get you.
Okay, let
to
me
come.
ask you guys one thing.
Please.
If
Will your management agree?
Yes.
First, it's done.
So as long as we shut your manager,
Wait,
do
Settled,
it.
settled. Let's
If I come to Lakore and sleep, are you guys going to airlift me to my house?
Lift you.
As in with helicopter,
Because I'm
yes.
going to still enter traffic.
No.
Okay, we will lift you. What
Do you,
next?
that is the point I'm trying to
Okay,
make.
we'll lift
No,
you.
but
What
if you're
again?
saying that if like a couple wants to retire and they need like all the basic, they need
But then
everything around.
everything
Everything is
is
around.
around.
Yes, everything is around, but still, if you're in Lagos, you're tempted to still go and visit.
Why will you be
your-
tempted?
But you're the one that want to leave Lagos. Why
Why
are you
you be
tempted to
tempted?
go back to
Oh.
Lagos?
You're in Lagos because you're in Lagos.
No,
Lakore is in
Lagos.
Come and
Lagos.
sleep. Hey,
They said their
we said
priorities
you,
right.
you said you come and sleep. So let's move on. When you have slept, You can now decide whether or not
Whether
you
it's a
feel
good
like
place
it's
to
still
be,
in
yeah.
Lagos or
Oh,
and
exactly.
can
Whether
now-
you feel like you
can
need to
now- I
visit
know, 'cause
Lagos.
you mentioned something. You said you wouldn't like suggest to your client something you haven't done before. So,
So
maybe if
I
you
can
try it-
understand that you might be hesitant
Yeah.
because you've never been, you've never slept. But when you come and sleep, you see that day visit and sleepover, they are two different things.
Yeah.
You would also experience the real lifestyle there as
Yeah.
well. So there's a
You
very
make sure to make
The thing
it
is,
worth your
I know
while.
how beautiful alcohol is.
It's not
It's
about
not about
the
the
beauty.
beauty.
Wait, I know how beautiful, and I know how serene it is as well.
No, Leo, seriously, you need to
That's
come
not
and
what
sleep.
you know what I think I'm putting so much pressure. If
No.
Yeah, but that's
if no
fine.
one's come, don't come.
I'm
No,
just telling you.
superstar,
No,
I'm
superstar,
just telling
please
you
come.
that. I'm just telling you that.
Superstar, please
I'm
come,
just telling you
please.
that if I stay there and I'm addicted to the place,
You'll be addicted.
You will buy a house now. I'll be your private equity.
Yeah.
Actually, you know the
you
funny
have to-
thing.
funny
I
enough,
feel like
you'll
I've
be
looked
able to-
at you. Let me just.
He can.
Not
he
even
can
just. We're
afford.
putting up like the first high rise in Lakaway. It's Grand Plus 9.
It will fit you, your lifestyle.
I can
Allow
see.
me to talk about
This
that.
Okay. Andrea's ahead of sales. Let me tell you about it. It's like I've heard, but
No,
you will get addicted.
So the thing is, Leo hasn't
If
been
it's-
there
if it's
before.
to
He hasn't
sleep over.
spent
If
a
it's
night
him.
there before.
Hold on, no, my share can come for escape to the green. Give him ticket.
No, he would come.
That's
Wait,
fine.
no,
Oh, yeah.
hold on. He would come for the escape to the green.
Think of it like a weekend at the Hamptons.
Yes,
but in
and then
Lagos.
he would also get a night at Lakaway on the house.
On the house.
So you need to
Leo,
experience
this is us
Lakaway.
bringing you, telling you, come and experience.
No, ma, hold on a second. So you know the thing about Lakaway is that
This is how you're convincing
Leo-
someone to marry your brother. But they're like,
Leo, not bad guy.
not
Like this.
there.
You correct him.
this is your brother, you're forcing me, but they have money. That's the energy is
yeah,
giving.
I'm listening.
No, this
yeah.
your listening is with Shakara. This your listening is with Shakara. He's enjoying it. So
I'm
yeah.
enjoying what she's saying.
Let her finish saying it. Let her finish saying it.
Let her.
All right, allow Leo listen.
Because the thing
Shakara.
is, she doesn't even need to sell it to me directly. Whatever she says now, if I have a client that has that need, I'll suggest it.
Yes.
God bless
You know,
you.
that's
No.
how spongy it is.
You're right. You're right. But I would also like for you to experience it. But you know the beauty of Lakaway is that Lakaway caters to both young
Yeah.
and old. Right. I'm not even trying to market Lakaway because Lakaway market itself. And it's been one of the easiest sell for me. There are several real estate opportunities within our portfolio, but you see that Lakaway. So the point I'm trying to make is that for the people who are looking to retire anytime soon or who are already retired and are looking for a place to move into, Lakaway is that place for them, is away from the hustle and bustle of Lagos. Then for the young people who are also looking for a bit of quiet, you know, I'm looking at you now and I'm thinking in my head, you're sort of reserved. I don't know, I may be wrong. It may also be an ideal place for you. You have the Ule.
Did you? I don't know. He's meticulous, yes, but it's not reserved.
Okay, so let's
Well,
leave
I
that.
am reserved.
Okay, so I mean, we have-
I live a very serious life.
okay,
No,
so-
I think the reason maybe Lakaway might not be for Leo at the moment, maybe because of his up and downs that he's
So
doing.
where-
and then he
I
can
am
buy
is
it and
perfect
keep
for me.
it for
Ikoyi,
later.
right?
Yes,
That's where
Ikoyi
you
is
are.
perfect
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
you, but you can buy
But Lakaway fits you.
if it, you know you
No,
can
I'm
buy
serious.
and
It will
keep
fit-
for
it will fit
later.
you.
Peace of mind fits me, of course.
No, I'm just saying. Actually, now that I think about it,
You would.
and your
like
guests
it
will not
there.
mind if you think.
When you
that-
think about it, something that maybe long term, maybe when you're ready to just
It can
like,
also
give
be
up
an
the lifestyle and
investment. It's
just
an
chill.
investment.
you don't want to give up the lifestyle.
Are you not considering an investment in that area?
I have
If you-
an
if you-
investment in that area.
Okay, so no, I'm saying
In
Lakaway.
Lakaway.
Let me
you
tell
guys,
you the
well,
beauty
you
of
know what?
we have.
Let's
Okay,
not forget that our listeners are trying to learn something about hotspots.
They will learn how to sell. Let Andrea finish her
Andrea
sale,
is doing
please.
like a heavy masterclass.
Okay,
right
don't
now.
worry. We'll talk about that later. So we can. But I know that Lakaway is a place for you.
No,
for
really, it's
anyone who
suits-
can.
But also, I
afford
feel
it.
like something that's very interesting you both touched on is the fact that when you're investing in real estate, irrespective of like local, international, you need to consider like your actual demands, like what you're trying to get out of it. No, so sometimes some people just follow their friends. As my friend invest, them invest.
Yeah, I was
you
going to say that
invest.
because Leo said something that if you hear this place is
Hot.
hot, you should go in.
just
I mean,
advantage.
what of people that just
Like now,
it's
maybe-
just
okay,
I feel like that is just like
I didn't say that. I said Lekki Ekpe would always
Always
be
be
hot.
hot.
Yeah,
Okay, no, because I'll give you an example now. So, for instance, if I have maybe kids that are going to uni, maybe just finished secondary school, and they're going to, maybe I want to take them to the UK, for instance, now. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, all the money I have, I'm not just going to take like 60 million and lock it down in real estate, because whether or not we love how much it appreciates, liquidity, like you want something like sharp. If something happens, you want to be able to get cash, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And because of how our credit system is here in Nigeria, you can't just say, okay, borrow me money on my house or whatever. It's going to be long. So you need to also consider where you are, like where your life stage is, right? Like if you're not a young person, if you don't have responsibilities that are pressing, that sort of thing, it's something you also need to consider. So if someone, for example, had like in that space, so you're not retiring, I'm talking about people trying to retire, I'm talking about people just starting out, someone that's like at the middle stage
Like
of
a
their
family.
life, like a family man or woman, like you're paying
That has
school fees,
kids and
you're
all
also
of
paying
these
rent
things.
because you're living somewhere, or maybe you own your home, but you want to like kind of invest because you won't be working forever, right? Maybe you have like 15 or 20
Not
years
even about just working
left.
forever. You also want to like have something for your kids. I know.
You
I
want
don't
to
think
live,
any family person
you want to
would
hand
just
something
want
over,
to, exactly.
and these are like your prime earning years. What would you
Exactly.
suggest that they do? Bearing in mind that, of course, you have like other responsibilities and it's not a priority, but they should still invest. What would you tell them? And if they say, okay,
Would
I
you
want to
think
do
that they
real
should
estate,
just, if there's a booming location, they should go ahead and put money down, lock it?
Depending on the budget and depending on what location are they looking at.
let's say 40 million,
40 million in Lagos.
let's say globally.
Like nothing
You
global.
can't do in Lagos. You're not taking it globally. I'm
Maybe somebody in Kigali has space. Now, you guys don't look down on Naira like that.
Naira,
What would you do
Naira,
generally?
So
What
for
would you
40
say?
million globally, and how liquid do they want to be monthly from that 40 million?
That's awesome.
These questions are now.
Yes, now,
It's not easy to invest. It's not easy to
with
make money.
investment, you have to
Think it through.
yes. There are several stages. There are some people that understand investment, and there are some people that don't understand it. So that is why I am very thorough when
That's
I'm asking
another
the
thing.
questions.
People that actually understand, because there are a lot of people that
Alright,
just invest.
I'm going to
because
segue
I
a bit.
want
What
to
are the
invest.
3 things you think anyone that wants to invest in real estate like
Should
you need to
know?
know? Because I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, think of someone. Explain to me like I'm 5. Give me like 3 or 4 things.
Or explain to us like we don't know what investment is.
No, real estate
if you're
investment, what are the
looking, if you're
things?
looking at Lagos, you need to first look at the vices of Lagos: security, flooding.
Okay.
So those should be like your consideration before you invest in
Just
any
security
real
and
estate.
flooding.
Well,
I
those are
mean,
like
these
the
were top of your mind.
major-
Okay.
two major,
Flooding,
yes, the two
infrastructure.
major ones. I know
Do
there are
these,
other vices.
Yeah,
do
but
these
security,
two sort
yeah.
of reduce the value of your investment?
It does
course.
not
sure it does.
reduce the value of your investment in some areas.
Okay.
In other areas, it
does.
does.
Yeah.
You get. So if you have like a property in Ikate, for example, you buy a property in Ikate for about 45M. In 6 months, it will still appreciate, even though
Even
water
if
will
water
carry it.
carries it
Genuinely,
away.
yeah.
Even if water will carry it away.
Because that is a very bad.
That place is a
so
river.
I'm like,
exactly.
what?
So I'm just being very realistic.
No,
with you.
definitely.
Yeah. But of course, there are some areas that if you have a property in Okoko and water is entering the place, I'm
Only you and your
sorry,
place.
your
Investments.
okay.
not
all
really
right.
going to
Okay, so
appreciate.
we look at the vices. What's the second
Yes.
thing?
So after you look at the vices, you now look at, okay, this is my money. What is my expectation with this money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I looking at locking this money down for my kids or for my grandkids? Because we had people that their grandfathers locked down money in the trust
okay.
for them. So what exactly are you trying to achieve? Am I trying to achieve monthly income so that my wife can have 400K coming directly to our account per month? What are you trying to achieve with the money? Or are you trying to achieve like 2 years? You want to just keep it down and sell it and get much more money. So those are the 2 things you consider.
Okay.
But you also have to look at the fact that Naira might not be the same
Okay.
It's not.
So,
know?
like, obviously,
Yes.
devaluation.
Yeah.
devaluation, because take for example now, I sold a flat in Ocean Bay for about 35M as at 2018.
Oh, Ocean Bay was there.
Yes.
Not about
As
seven.
at
Which of the Ocean
2018.
Bay?
The one on
The one
the one
on
on Orchid
Lafayette
Road.
Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orchard Road.
Yeah.
Always been there.
It's always been
Yeah.
there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I think about something.
So for like 35M.
Okay, Ocean Bay.
But now, even though the flat is probably worth about 55, how much was dollar in 2018?
Yeah.
How much is dollar now?
Okay.
So you look at it that, has it really appreciated? Do you understand?
So what that means is that in Nigeria you are rich. You're,
But outside,
but when
you're
you
not
take that money out,
But
No, but also I feel like there's also like creeping inflation across like investments. That's something people should also consider. I mean, you said the value of naira, but just generally,
there's crippling inflation, but
Yes.
the value of our money is not
It's also
that great.
Yes,
From the
like
jump, okay.
Naira is
It's not that great. So
Anymore.
Yeah.
those are the things that I try
should
to
put
explain.
in the mind of
yes, I
people
try
that
to
want to
explain
invest in real
people
estate.
when they're investing that, see, come, if you sell it and you're like, I don't feel like I got the value, you need to look at the
Then,
economic
yeah.
situation.
Okay.
Not that you come and hold me on my shirt and be like,
Even though you
But
don't
you
deal with the money.
advised me.
yeah. So
Even, okay, all right. That's great. That's
That's
great.
nice. That's
I
nice.
like that. You
Yeah.
know, it's something when we do the when we host the podcast. I'm always happy that people can take away like one or two. It's very interesting because life times we talk about investing, but it's very rare that they tell you to look at it holistically, consider the economy, consider the value of the naira at the time, and what's
That's
so
a
even
nice-
if it's
that's
100 or
nice.
200% increase, you need
Yeah.
to think of the fact that you might
I've
have
never
you
thought
might
about
have
it like
lost.
that.
our finishing
Yeah.
as at then in Ocean Bay were all imported. So we brought everything in from China. I did automation all straight from China. So at that time I was spending like, let's say $5,000
Yeah.
per room or per flat. So you look at how much I spent then.
Then and how
naira.
much-
I used to
Yeah.
finishing from China, or you are now
no,
they're doing
that-
buying
I'm-
naira to grow the naira.
No, I'm
You're sourcing locally.
It's done.
Are you
They are
tapping into the
expecting
wealth
in
of
Nigeria.
madam,
Are you tapping into the wealth of
I'm a computer engineer
okay?
by trade,
By tra-
by profession rather. But I graduated as an electrical and computer engineer.
That's
and I
not-
can tell you one thing for a fact: we don't produce anything here.
Okay,
So even resistor, we don't produce it in Nigeria.
okay, but
so,
we make those now. Come on.
All right.
madam, I'm talking
you
about automation. I'm talking about automation.
Oh, sorry, you mean like smart homes?
Yes.
Yeah, there's smart homes in Ocean Bay.
Yes, we did smart homes in Ocean Bay as of 2018.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
So you still have to import them.
we had to import them.
No, I'm saying like if you're
But
doing
you-
now,
I'm
you
not
have-
doing
He's
any
not
real estate
doing
project right now.
again, Nore.
because of the economy.
Not because of the economy.
No,
because
sincerely, tell
I'm
us.
trying to
It's
live
not
longer.
because of.
So it's because of the
Are you saying
economy.
it's stressful?
I'm
So
sure.
it's for someone like me, it's extremely stressful.
It's because of
I
everything you have to
A
juggle.
lot of things that I'm trying
Yeah.
to do. So imagine now I'm telling one guy that he should help me plaster the septic tank, and he's not doing it.
By
then
then-
I have to take ladder and enter the septic tank myself to go and inspect that he has done the job. So I can't live like that. You know, I can't live like that. And you don't want a situation whereby you're delivering a property that is not up to standard to someone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just have to be on site.
Oh,
It takes over your entire life.
so it's very time consuming.
Yeah, very time consuming. So you be like, I
it's-
want to finish this project in 6 months.
Yeah.
But in that 6 months, the price of cement can even go like 20%
Trust me.
higher. They need to.
You know, we
Trust
build
me,
houses, so we know.
Trust me, like 100%.
Yes.
Like 100%.
Yeah,
I'm not
as
even
late,
kidding.
Late 2017, we bought cement for like peak 2005. Now it's about 4,006.
That's it.
Yeah. So
That's
people
true.
that want to invest,
So
real
you have
estate,
to-
consider the fact that price of things have gone up.
Yep.
When they
Yeah,
call
and then
price,
people that have
don't
already
bring-
invested and think people are just holding
So
your
you see,
this
that's why
thing
I hate
ransom.
collecting
doesn't-
off-plan money.
Mm.
So you collect.
It's a challenge.
Put her head down like
It's a challenge.
But you know what?
You're right. You're
Just
right.
on the web like, oh my god.
but
Offline is tough, but people
Offline is
who
really tough.
have
It's-
real
It's
estate-
Make it work.
tough because that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like for people that have invested, they now think that people are just holding their houses hostage because you know.
meanwhile, it's the cost of iron rod.
Yes,
Okay.
it's very
But,
expensive.
but it is very interesting to know that. I'm happy with those 3 points we shared. Andrea, do you want to add anything?
I think he
touched
pretty much the Duke.
The Duke.
Duke nailed it. So
No, but before we close, I just want to ask you, like, is this something that is real estate something you venture back into? Because you
did not leave now.
I know he didn't leave, but like what I mean is like the
Develop-
whole exactly
Development,
this development
okay.
because he sounds like he has a passion for it, but it's just
It does
stressful.
sound very
So
Yeah.
one thing you need to understand is there's real estate investment and there's real estate development. I've just removed the development.
Fun.
So
There
you're
is
doing
still
the investment part.
So I have like, if you check my business page, I have properties that we own
Yeah.
that we do for short lets. So that is still real estate, but it's investment
but,
part.
okay.
You get what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
not actively building. I'm not putting helmet on my head and going on site right now.
He's not entering septic tank.
Not right
No
now.
interest.
Not right now.
That's what he said.
Not right
All
now.
right. Okay, great. So, I mean, I'm glad that you spoke about sort of splits down development and investment into
Yeah.
two. So just like I know what development is, ground up, we're building.
Yeah.
Investment, what I felt like there's a range.
Yeah,
What
there's
what
a
it
range with investment. I always tell my people that even after you build, you can still be making money after you sell those properties
Okay.
from facility management.
Okay.
You know, you're maybe providing, you have a deal with NEPA
Yeah.
and
NEPA.
you're selling the units back to the
To the-
people that,
Okay.
So there are different things. Then there's flipping of houses. So for example, with places like Surulere now, Surulere is a very, very good location.
So close to
to-
your heart. See how your eyes lit up. It's someone like Surulere. Someone like Surulere now.
Excuse
This
you.
is kingdom.
So it's very rare you find barren land in Surulere.
Okay.
Extremely rare.
I like Surulere too.
Yeah. So if you don't want to build from scratch, you can just easily flip the house. Just do modern finishing, maybe change the roofing.
But
turn
the
it to
modern
POP.
houses sell in Surulere.
Yes, they do.
They do.
Because I feel like
People like the
No,
old
yeah.
ones because they have space.
yeah, like I feel like for Surulere is like more vintage.
No, there are lots of modern houses.
There are
These
now a
days,
lot
a
more
lot.
modern houses. If you go to Ogunsoya,
Body
Thomas, houses have been flipped.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Developers.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned shortlet.
Yeah, shortlet. Shortlet is probably at the moment there's rent and there's shortlet.
Okay.
I try to advise people to look at rent if they don't want to
Right.
bother.
They don't want to tussle.
Yes, if they don't want to bother. So you know that the maintenance of the house is up to the tenants and whatnot. You
Okay.
just remove your hand. Shortlet is a little bit more tedious in the fact that it can be daily. It can be, there's sometimes that you don't even have any clients, because it has peak periods.
Okay.
So shortlet is booming from like November to about January.
As per 30
Christmas.
December.
Yes,
Yeah.
30 December. Then there's a very short boom in July and August.
Okay.
Summer.
Summer. So you don't, apart from those periods, your property can be
Major.
empty. Major.
No, but I thought
But also
shortlets are
that-
also good because like all these school, like universities kids that go come.
In Lagos.
Yeah, like a lot of affair, all these
Yeah.
universities.
Okay, those people
that,
are-
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that go and
so
come.
you can get those kind of clients, but I'm just being
It's not the peak
I'm
period.
just
yeah, I was
looking
just like
at
asking
the-
like if there's like a peak period for them as well.
Well, there's always a peak period for that. If you have consistent clientele. So like I have a shortlet in Lekki one that is always occupied.
Booked and
I
busy.
have one in Omole that is occupied by an expat. That one always occupied.
Okay.
You get, so there's some places like that.
Okay.
But there is one like in Chevron. I have to market it.
You're posting it.
Market it before I'll
Even
get,
as
like,
the Duke. You market it.
yes, now you
A
market
meticulous
it,
Duke, oh.
market it. There is one in Mega Mount. You market it. So you need to. I'm just looking at the it as a whole. So that's just the honest truth. Those are the investments that you can.
All right. I know Mixta mostly develops.
Yeah.
We don't rent.
No, so we develop, and then what we also do is we have a hospitality department that
Okay.
helps our investors in managing their investment
Property.
with
So
us.
what you mean is if I buy a house.
So if you buy, so let me just break it down very quickly. So you can buy a home from Mixta. So let me use Lakaway as an example.
Okay.
You buy a 1-bedroom apartment at Lakaway and decide that you want to put it on the shortlet platform, right? And Mixta hospitality department manages that for you.
Oh, okay.
So you're not bothered about the maintenance of the
You don't even know
unit.
what
You're
they're
not
doing.
you don't even know the client.
They
You have a
remit,
professional.
So they remit like the funds every month.
So you
Is it
get
every
you get
month?
paid. You get paid every month.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
That's
So when it comes to maintenance, if something spoils,
Doesn't concern
Mixta,
you.
Lakwe.
it's not your.
The
you're not
hospitality will
concerned
Do you have an
care of
about
idea
them.
how much this costs?
And then
How much,
you mean
like-
per night?
No, what I mean is like how much, like I'm a homeowner, how much am I going to pay for management?
I'll need to
You have
check.
to
I'm
get
not.
back to
I don't
you.
have that
Okay.
information. I'm not very
All
sure.
right.
But what I know is that the market in that area. I think it's also subject to location, like he mentioned. Unlike other places, Lakaway is like you get steady requests for Lakaway. If you're not careful, if you want to stay at Lakaway and you make your request like 2 weeks before the time
Maybe
or
sold
a
out.
month before the time, you don't have any room available to you anymore. So you have a lot of homeowners putting their
Their
homes
homes on.
on
Oh,
that in that pool, for Mixta to generate income
Come
for them.
Okay, so we are saying basically Mixta has like a pipeline.
Yeah, we
of people
do.
who
We
definitely
do.
want
Sorry,
to come
I
into
wanted
this
to
like
ask something.
Yes, please.
The finishing of the homes, do you guys handle that?
Yes. So we build start to finish. And I think it also depends on the
I'm talking like
type.
the couch, all
No.
of that.
No, so
because
but we would
because when it
recommend-
comes to like maintenance, for example, I've taken on a property where the dining table cost about 3 million.
What?
Yes,
We have-
and
Duke, please.
I'm serious
But,
now.
all right, but it's true. But even at
I'm
Laco,
serious.
we have units like that.
Then when someone now comes and breaks, what would happen?
Yes, so that is the
3
that's the point.
million
Yes,
for a
No,
dining
man,
table.
put your eyes back.
Wait,
in your
no,
head.
I'm
These
just
things
confused.
are
Like, is it that when you're
all you
eating,
need
No,
to
it's
do
not
talking.
is
I
just go
just-
to furniture house in
I just
VI.
want to
True,
know
these
that
things
when
are
you're eating, is that the thing is singing your praise like this food will be
Madam,
sweet
just
forever.
go to
What?
furniture house in VI.
Okay.
You would see dining table, even 10 million self.
No, but his
thank
correct. Of course.
All right.
So now, when you now shortlet those type of houses, like okay, I just
Exactly.
have a
So-
question. So
Deposits,
if I have
security
a
deposits.
dining table of 3 million in my house and I want to shortlet it, am I not going to like all the cost I've spent? Is it not going to be involved
So
in the
that's why I was
shortlet
asking
or-
if she finishes, because it's
Yeah.
always advisable if you're managing a property that you are the one that have the
Furnished.
furniture.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remove
No.
all of the person's furniture from
And
there
give them.
because
Okay.
For the ones we own,
Yeah.
we definitely did that, and
Okay.
we're still doing that. But for the ones
people
that
steal
were-
TVs.
people still.
You know what?
So
Thank you.
it depends.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you for
serious.
coming. You people.
have you had an issue
Yes, I've had 2 issues like that.
Imagine.
TV and dining table were taken.
Was it your
What,
money
what was
property?
security?
Was it your
But
money
guess,
property?
but
No,
this is
Chevron.
why Lakowe
No.
stands
Where?
out. Permit
This
me to
was
say that.
what's that estate in Osapa?
I knew it.
It can only be that. It can only be.
I'm confused. I now looked at me. I live in Osapa, so
Pinnacle, Pinnacle.
August.
what?
Yes,
I thought that security
But I
was
thought the
tight.
security there was great.
And they tell the park to one side.
Wait,
But
the
they
Pinnock,
might
the
not
same Pinnock
even
that have
know.
like lake views.
That
Yes.
Pinox.
Oh
There's
no.
only one Pinox.
No,
At
but
the
that's
end of
why
the
it's
day.
important for homeowners. I mean, it's important for the owners of the business to pre-qualify the people they're bringing in.
Yeah.
You don't just bring it. But maybe that's why Lakowe is different.
Yeah.
We
Okay, I know
always-
that for the rental pool, they also do
You-
like a
or you have to
verification
pre-
and
you
like
can't
sort of
just-
People
KYC.
pre-qualify, but it's not written on the forehead that this
Yeah,
person
but
is a
It's a thief.
thief.
I
That you
agree.
steal my dining table.
Yeah.
Wahala.
No, but dining table, that person is wicked. What you?
The person knows the value.
Yeah. Ah, so sad.
There's some people like that. They know the value.
So did you
of
have to
things.
replace it?
No.
Wait, was it your
police
car? No.
Police found it too.
All right, they found it.
Of course.
Fantastic. Thank God
Okay,
for our working
police.
police force. All right, thank you both so much
Oh
for
my
coming
God,
on.
this
This
was-
was a
yeah.
very
If you want your police to work, motivate them.
We know how we motivate them.
all right, guys. So thank you both very much for joining us.
Yeah.
To our listeners at home, again, I ask that you please, if you have questions, comments, contributions, please, you guys should put the thing at the bottom of the screen
For them, yeah.
For them, our Instagram is, to be quite honest, the pod.
Yeah.
So you can
To
send
be
us
quite
DMs.
honest.
I think you're going to put up a post this week asking for the questions because a lot of people have reached out to us individually saying, you
Just
guys,
asking different
I want to
questions.
talk about this. I want to talk about that. And realize that's how I ended up with this topic, to be honest. Because I was like, oh, we're looking for sort of like what's popping. If I want to invest, like what can I do? Where can I go? And it's great because there are a lot of options that have been thrown on the table. So it's good to have all the
Yeah, and it's
information
great that we
at
had
your
both of you here from different sides of the table, just shedding more light on it. And we really want to thank you for coming on.
you all.
And Leo, please don't forget to take us on our offer to come to Lakowe.
He said he will come. He has
already
agreed
said
already.
that.
Reach out to me. People
All right.
and
Your people.
Hey,
Thank you.
God,
All right, so our listeners at home, I hope you enjoyed the rest of it. Thanks, everyone.
All right.